Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to my item sets. Once again, this time it's a guide for support Alistar. Probably one of the best hard carry supports for solo queue. You can go so ham in lane with this guy, and you can just destroy an entire game on Alistar. Anyway, before I go over the actual build options, I'm just going to talk about the consumables. Oracles, I have this on all of my supports, of course. Pink Ward, I have this on all of my builds. Starting item is always Relic Shield, it's just the best. And then potions. As for boots, there's a lot of different stuff you can do here. You could do swiftness, you can do mobility. If your build allows it, you can even do Ionian boots. Or you could just do what I do and get as tanky as humanly possible. If I'm against a heavy AD team, I get Ninja Tabi. If I need tenacity, I get Mercs. It's as simple as that. Like I said, you could go with something more mobile, but I don't find that I need it, because whenever I roam on this guy, I always succeed the gank regardless of how much movement speed I have, if that makes sense. Plus, Talisman ends up giving us movement speed later on once we get it anyway. So, my first item on support house, and Elixir of Iron, obvious is obvious, just a late game thing. If you magically get to hyper late game and you have all your items, well, Elixir of Iron, may as well get it, right? Okay, the first item I always get on Alistar is Sightstone, no matter what. I always get Sightstone, and then usually I'll get my boots, and then I'll get Ruby Sightstone, because Ruby Sightstone is fucking awesome. Gives you a big chunk of health for very little money. It gives you active item cooldown, which is very nice. And then a whole bunch of wards. Pretty much no reason not to get this. And then what I do later is I either build an Aegis, or I sell my Relic Shield, and I start building a Talisman. Depending on what my team needs. If my team needs the Aegis aura, I'll get that first. If my team doesn't, I'll get the Talisman first, because Talisman is amazing. The active is just ridiculous. This is a hilarious item. It's so good. If you haven't actually tried playing with Talisman on any support, try it out. It's just super great. Usually, when I finish the Talisman, I'll end up getting the Aegis afterwards anyway, because you almost always need Aegis in my experience. Now, whenever I get Aegis, I don't always get Banner of Command, it just depends. Banner of Command, in my opinion, is a lovely item, for multiple reasons, but the biggest reason obviously being the promote active, which is just awesome for supports, because it allows you to actually have a strategic impact on the map, much more impact than you quote-unquote should be able to as a support, if that makes sense. Getting Banner of Command can be problematic sometimes if the enemy team has a lot of attack damage on their team, because it makes it very easy for them to deal with the minion. But sometimes when that's the case, I'll still get this item anyway, because it's just so good. Because it pushes a lane for you, and you don't need to have any team members in that lane, and it just pushes automatically. Anyway, if you don't get Banner of Command, Locket of the Iron Solar is great, and as far as your other item options go, your plan is to just get as tanky as possible, and or get as many auras and as much utility as possible. As far as armor goes, you have a lot of options. You have GA, you have Frozen Heart, and you have Randuin's. Those are the best ones in my opinion. Randuin's because it gives you an AoE slow on its active, and because it just makes you incredibly tanky. Frozen Heart, obviously, for the aura. Whenever you can get an aura on a support, it's just great. And then Guardian Angel because it makes you ridiculously tanky, and nobody wants to focus you when you have this item. And if you have a lot of cooldown reduction, and nobody wants to focus you so you can keep being disruptive over and over again, well, usually that's going to result in you winning a lot of team fights. So GA can be really good too. Regardless of how I choose to do my build, I always get Talisman sooner or later, and I always get Aegis sooner or later. It's really just a question of time. Now, those two items combined gives me 20% CDR, and I almost always get Frozen Heart later on as well. I mean, not just to get the CDR, but the CDR is nice, so you get a capped CDR, and you also get the attack speed reduction, so That's the way I build Alistar. It's not the way you have to build him, but this is the way I've carried, oh, I don't know how many games. I think I have more than 70,000 mastery points on this guy. I don't know, something like that. At this point, despite of the fact that I'm not actually a support main. Hell, I don't even like playing support, but this guy just makes me want to play support. And yeah, just that's about it. You know, you just build according to the situation. So just be smart about it, and you'll probably win the game. That's all there is to it. That's it. If you want to see the runes, the masteries, there is a link for that video in the description below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for watching. Peace.